I like whips and chains. And welcome back to my channel. Author Tillery here, the Mistress of Horror. How about you press that subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when I'm uploading new videos. This is an extra kind of thing because I wanted to do it. I decided to do the hobby tag. I saw Pax Panic's video and I was like, oh, this is a cool tag. Let me jump on this. Apparently this tag came out a while back. And it's the original tag of James Holder, which I will link his video below. So let's jump into this tag. The tag has 5 questions, so it's really short and sweet as far as the questions, but let's see how long it takes to get through them myself. Question number 1. Within your personal library, do you collect books? Example, based on, I guess, genre, editions, specific authors, publishers, things like that. Why, yes, I do. I have a book collection of over 5,000 books. I didn't bother counting what the new numbers are. Anyway, I do have specific collectible chunks in said library. Specifically, I have a kind of collection of R.A. Salvatore's Dritz du Ardennes books. I have all the Dritz du Ardennes books. I do specifically try to get the hardback versions of those, so I tend to have them pre-order as they release. Back in the day, that wasn't always possible, so I do at least have paperback versions of some of those. I have collectibles of that character, like the statues that came out for it, the Pop, the new ones with the big heads. I have those versions of it. I have the some of the secondary characters in the statue sets. So based around that's character. So I do collect things. I do have some editions, special editions or multiple editions of certain books. I also collect old books. Like I think one of the oldest books in my collection is from 18 something, maybe further back than that. I have this book that I was looking at yesterday that is not in the best condition. This is it. I decided to go grab it. See how old the paper is? And this is the outside. It's kind of long, as you can see. See the side, I got it like this. It wasn't like I didn't take care of it. But it is old. You know what I mean? You can see how the coloring. And I believe this edition of this specific book, and I'll give you the title in a second. Printed in Great Britain, first off. And this is copy number 1125. The edition of Malleus Maleficarum is the title of the book. There are only 1,275 numbered copies, and it's translated to English. Yeah, 1928 down here. And it actually is a book on how to defeat demons and witches, things like that, like the different things to defeat them. So it's religious, a lot of it in here, the ways, a lot of old world ways and things like that. So again, you see the paper. So it's been around for a while, but this is one of my more collectible things, but it's not like it's in perfect condition type of situations. I collect really old books and I don't really care about that. I have some really real old ones. I have like the old paper on top of it to keep like the pictures in good condition. So some of them are in good condition. And I do have things like this, like the H.P. Lovecraft special edition that came in like the case back here. See how it slides out, and that's the book. So yeah, I do have things like that. So I have a lot of different things in my collection because I do, even though I read all my books. I've read all of the books except for like some of the newer stuff that's on my to be read list. But I do have special editions. I will buy hardbacks. I will go back and buy like special editions or like stained edges book versions, which I just started getting into the stained edge thing. So yeah, I'm a adamant book reader, so I do like collect special versions of things when I like something. That's probably in everything. Question number 2. What are your non-bookish hobbies? Okay, this is going to take me a second. So to name some, my main one would be gaming, because I've been playing video games since I was a little girl. I have an extensive collection of video games. As you can see, a little bit of them over here. Yeah. So that's just a little bit of the surface. I have probably about 700 something video games, and that's like probably 800 now. That's across different consoles. So I'm mostly a console gamer. If you don't know that lingo, that means I'm not predominantly a PC gamer. I have played PC games, but I don't like playing online with others. So I have very little interest in that. I have in the past, but as I get in my older age, I really have no interest in playing video games with other people. I want to be like, I'm very private and I want to be alone when I'm doing that. So playing with other people doesn't interest me. So predominantly console gamer. So I have a good back library as well. So when the gaming apocalypse happens, which they're trying to push just the digital content and a lot of more online play and always online and stuff like that, I have plenty of back library. So no worries on my front. But yeah, video gaming is one of my biggest hobbies that I have. I have a lot of collector's editions of those too. So as you see Resident Evil 4 there, and if you look up, I'm going to just try to show you a little bit without over. If you look up top there, over my video game case, there's collector's editions all the way to the back of the room. Those are expensive collector's editions that I've gotten over the years. Some of those are, they're worth a lot. Because gaming can be a lot, because those won't come out again. Those are like collector's editions you can't get after they release. That's it, unless someone sells theirs. So yeah, I tend to get collector's editions of things in the hobby that I like too. So that happens. That's the thing. Anyway, moving on to the next thing. I took a minute, didn't it? Belly dancing. If you follow my channel, you know I'm a retired professional dance artist, and me dance, which is Middle Eastern dance, was my predominant lead style, though I do know other styles such as hip-hop, modern dance, folk dance, and martial arts is also my repertoire. It's not a dance per se, but I learned martial arts since I was 4 as well. Actually, martial arts was before dance, because I was like 4 learning martial arts and started dance study when I was 8 and haven't stopped since. So now I'm a hobbyist in belly dance. I still run a hafla because I was very professional in the field. I would be hired to perform. I traveled across the country to perform at events. I put on big conventions for dancers who came from different parts of the world, different parts of the country. And so I got into it extensively. I even had a costume store at one point that was predominantly based around belly dance. So, but now I turned it into a hobby as I retired from performing professionally on stage and teaching. So I only do it as a hobby now. So that's why I put it under my hobby belt. But yeah, I still love it. I still sometimes make my own costumes. I put on a hafla online because I'm not really into being in public anymore around lots of people spitting on my face. So that being said, I do online events only. I do one other dancer's show who is a professional dancer that I like. I do her show because I really like her. So I perform in her online show only exclusively, and then in my show that I put on. So that's my hobby, one of my other hobbies. Next, this takes a while because I have a lot of hobbies. Watching K-dramas, C-dramas, and J-dramas. So dramas from Korea, dramas from China, and dramas from Japan. I put it under hobby because it's watching TV and movies and things like that, and that's a hobby. So that's all I watch though. I don't watch American TV or Western. I used to say Western because that means like Europe and or America. That includes Canada and all that. So I don't watch any television, and it has been going on 4 years now that I haven't watched any Western world television. I only watch stuff from South Korea, from China, as far as like dramas, and Japan. Japan is an old one for me because I've always watched film from Japan since I was a teenager, since that was like my second language. So I That's all I watch. So it's like my hobby because I've watched so many. So, but it's become like a normal thing. That's all I watch. So we can count that as hobby, I would imagine. Anyway, I guess we could say K-pop next. I got into K-pop later in life, but I was always into Japanese music, so J-pop, J-rock, things like that. I don't really like putting those letters in front of the thing, like it's still pop music and or like rock music and stuff, but it's just pointing out that it's from set country. But like no one there would say that because obviously it's from there. I don't know if like in like Japan, let's say they say like A pop, like American pop. I don't know if they do that there. It might be an American thing to do that. I don't really know, but that's what they call it to distinct the difference. Because I'm not really a pop music style person when it's American music at all, really. Like I can use some when I'm a dancer because I'm a dancer, if it sings to my ears, but I don't specifically go around listen to it. However, when it comes to J-pop and or K-pop, I do specifically listen to pop in those settings in those languages, and I prefer them in their native tongue because it sounds better to me. So, but they do in K-pop they mix a lot of English with their stuff, which is kind of like, I'll take it, but I'm not really there for that. Um, that being said, so K-pop for sure, and that was what you could see over there. It's like my little K-pop shrine of my physical CDs. I have plenty of stuff that's not. So a lot of Stray Kids and BTS members music and CDs. I'm into more of the male bands and stuff. I'm not into too much female music. Female singers. I have a few singers throughout my music likes. But most of the stuff I like, that even when I was a teenager, my favorite singer was Gait, who's a more of a Japanese pop star. He's actually making a comeback because he was gone for a couple years. And Bucktick. So I have a few favorites from when I was a child. La Ashe, got Robin Hyde. So definitely K-pop is up there right now for sure. I'm a stay and a army. And if you don't know what a stay is a fan, a big fan of Stray Kids, and a army would be BTS's fans. So yeah. So I get like some of the photo books and like the cards and stuff. I know people are like, well, you're too old for that. No, you're too old to like anything you like. There's no age limit on that thing, so whatever. Next one would be sewing. I love sewing. I used to have a store open where like I said, with the costuming stuff for belly dance. Plus I did other types of costuming like for like comic book characters and things, and I did used to sell stuff, but I closed that down because I was so busy with other things work wise, so I stopped doing it. I have like expensive sewing machines and stuff that I probably should get back into doing that. At some point, once my life calms down in my career stuff and I'm more laid back in the career, then I probably will start sitting down sewing more, because a lot of my costumes in my belly dance costume collection now collection, since I'm not professional anymore, I made a lot of that stuff, so I can make anything. I was a seamstress for quite a while, so that is a hobby now, like sewing and making things. I can make anything, curtains, I can make pillow covers. Now we saw extensive costumes. I made the laughing laughing Joker, the laughing Batman. It's from the comic books. It's like the Joker Batman mix. I made that costume. I made quite a many costumes. So, and he made a female Loki costume for a friend of mine who's a dancer too. So yeah, my hobbies get around, and we're not done. Here we go. Drawing. I like to draw on the side. It's kind of like soothing to me. With chalk. So chalk, like black chalk. I like the black chalk draw. I do like more uh terrain and things like that. I like doing forests specifically, like dark gothic forests and stuff. Like I like to draw that kind of thing. I haven't done it in the past couple months, busy with all these other hobbies I have. But I plan to pick it up again soon. I have all my supplies here. I sometimes do it on canvas. So yeah, maybe I'll show you guys sometimes. Another thing I like to do is a hobby, singing. I could have possibly been professional at one point in my life, but I never did. But I do enjoy singing. I'm more of a naturalist at it, because it runs like in my family. Like my father could sing very well, like very white level. My aunts can sing on my father's side, which I think is supposed to come from my father's side. My mom could sing. She had her tonsils taken out when she was younger. They say it don't always affect you, but it did affect her. Um, so it kind of runs in my family, the singing thing. So I really like singing. I even have an account on Star Maker, and I've recorded lots and lots of songs on there if you want to check out my stuff. But I really have fun singing. I love it. It's very emotional for me. Like, I relax after singing. I was so upset one time I lost my voice because I had like GERD, so it sends acids up from the stomach, and so I couldn't sing for like 6 months because of the acids burning the esophagus. So thank God my GERD's gone now. But I couldn't sing for a while, and I was very sad. So one of my favorite hobbies is singing. We're still going. I'm sorry. This hobbies question. We didn't get past question two, but this hobbies question is very extensive for me. I'm just telling you. Makeup art. I love makeup. If you couldn't tell, I do wear it all the time, except for when I go to bed, obviously, and when I'm going to my physical job. That's I have a cleaning business, so I don't wear makeup for that. But when I'm recording, whatever I'm like, whenever I was performing, I always wear makeup, and I like trying different styles of makeup. Like, I'll try different new things. I like to do like more theoretical stuff. Like, I did the zombie look. I've done like fairies. I've done like monsters and creatures of the night. So I do like to get into that really a lot. So that's definitely a hobby of mine. I have like extensive I won't say a collection of makeup. I have a lot of eyeshadow packs. Like, when they come up with special ones, like from like characters and stuff like that. Like, they have a Tetris one. They have Naruto. Like, they have all kinds. When I see like those stuff, I gotta get those. Like, so I am a hobbyist in makeup as well. I'm not a professional, but I love doing it. So, even one of my shows on my channel is based around makeup and talking about scary stuff. So you probably figured that out. All right, so another hobby, like, what? It's more like a way of life for me. Is martial arts. I've been doing it since I was a little child. I do enjoy it. It's very peaceful and soothing to the mind. I'm more of a mixed martial artist at this point, and I'm not talking about like the mixed martial artist professionals, like, UFC or whatever. Yeah, UFC. Yeah, UFC. I'm not like that. I meant like mixed martial arts because I learned a lot of different martial arts styles, and then it became my own style of mixing. Like, my teacher was a mixed martial artist where he had a lot of different martial arts, and he made his own martial arts style. So I know that style, and then it's kind of like this comes naturally. What happens after your repertoire becomes so big from training in martial arts. So if you ask me to start martial arts, I probably studied at least some years in each one. A lot of the ones I took, I even took some more wrestling, um, kickboxing, of course. That's the usual one. Thai boxing, um, Tai Chi, Jiu-Jitsu, Taekwondo, so, and some other things. And my teachers, or say master, that's the old one. My teacher's style was like wyvern blood, so it's his own style of that, his mixes and things, and he made a lot of different moves that I know because I was a student. So yeah, that's an extensive hobby, but it's more of a way of life for me in my mind. But I guess a lot of people count it as a hobby, so I'm just gonna throw it in there. Um, so I mean, and I collect things when I really really like stuff. So I collect the BTS for the K-pop. I like BTS as a group, so I bought their dolls. I have posters. I have like memorabilia, and same thing goes for like the Stray Kids because I'm a stay. So I really like their stuff. I collect their stuff. I'm in my book collection thing. Forgot to mention is not it's because it's not just book related. I collect vampire stuff. So I have like collection of horror movies, and I have a collection of like specific vampire books. So I'll keep that stuff separate and in its own setting because it's all vampire based. I also like werewolf stuff. So I'll make like a collection of werewolf movies and werewolf books and stuff, and werewolf memorabilia like statues and things that I put together. So I am a collector in a sense because I really like that type of stuff. And when I really like something, I kind of really get into it. I still haven't done like a lot of stuff. Um, I was into shoes like that for a while, but only specifically goth shoes because I am a goth. So I collect goth things too. You'll see like goth lanterns, like the stuff on my wall over here. My decorum in my personal space is very goth-esque because I'm a goth. So you'll see things like that. So I tend to do that. So I collected some really nice goth boots and shoes. I've worn them, but I haven't worn enough of them. So I've like, up to the thigh type of boots, like crazy chains and spikes and things like that. I like whips and chains, things like that, like corsets. I was into corsets, of course. I still love corsets. Those would be extensive, so I started getting into making them. So I have a lot of hobbies. My mind is very busy, so I have to have a lot of hobbies because my mind is very busy. I don't have a lot of time for all of my hobbies all at one time, but because of work. But since I work outside the house, but I do really get into my hobbies, to say the least. So finally, we're gonna get to question number 3. What hobbies have you fallen out of and why? I used to be heavy into anime growing up, until it changed like mid my 20s. They kind of changed to where I was like, I'm not seeing stuff that I really like right now, and anime is specifically from Japan. Um, so I kind of fell out of them, and because of the styles and the types that I like, I just started not liking the animation styles that everyone was going into, like mixing 3D with not. So I just was like, I kind of just got disenchanted for a while, which I fell out of it. I'm interested in getting back into it a little bit, but I'm very specific about anime that I watch. I do specifically love stories. I like gore and horror, violent anime. So like Berserk, for instance, I do like the anime of that. The manga, I still do buy the manga because manga is another thing I was going to say. I fell out of buying manga because it's a very expensive one, and as you see, I have a lot of hobbies. Video games tend to take precedence, so I don't buy manga, though I read them online. So I didn't mention that in my hobby list because I'm kind of in and out of it. I do read manga again online, but I haven't bought any in a long time except for Jujutsu Kaisen. I bought some of the later ones of that, which I have to get the rest of those. But Berserk is the one I've been steady up on the big bulk. Unfortunately, the guy who wrote Berserk has passed away, and it's going to have to be finished by his assistant, which is sad. So there's that. So those are two that I would like to get back, and I fell out of them because they kind of did some changing. The manga, not so much fell out of it because I didn't like it anymore. Mostly, I did never really fall out of manga all the way. I just didn't physically buy the physical books anymore. I mostly just went digital and reading and read them on my computer and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, so I would like to physically get back into getting my mangas because I really like that. I still have some, of course, in my book collection because I kept them, but I would like to get back into those when funds are able, when I become a millionaire, obviously, duh, which is in the cards at some point. Question number 4. Do you regret dropping any of those hobbies? I do regret dropping anime a little bit. Regret is a strong word, but I can get back into it anytime. It's just that I'm not just going to look at anything. Also, I don't really want to watch Japanese anime. It's like about like Western world history. Like I know Western world history. I mean, I can always learn more, of course. Like, but I really don't want to see that. Like, I don't care. Like, I try to care, but I don't. So a lot of the stuff that I watch want to just be like whatever stories and stuff, like dramas about, and then like fictional stuff. I don't really want to watch anime and watch like real world like events that occurred and then done through like Japanese anime. I don't want to see that. Like, I try to look at stuff like that, but I really don't have a direct interest to keep looking at it. Like, I'll try an episode or two and then I'll be like, nah, I don't want to see this. Like, I don't care. Like, because I like fantasy, I like fiction more than like what, let's make stuff about, let's make stuff about like stuff that happened for real, make it into like, I don't want to see that. Like, I don't care. Like, about, I know about history, I just read the actual like historical things that occurred and stuff like that. I'm not gonna watch Japanese anime and be like, let me watch this thing about the Native Americans. I'm Native American. Like, I'm gonna watch like a Japanese anime about Native Americans. Like, why would I do that? Like, I have no interest. There's plenty of people that probably would, but I don't see any point to that. Like, no. I want to see like a fictional story with demons or taking over the world or something. Like, I don't want to. That's just me, but okay. Anyway, so I kind of do want to get back into watching some anime, cherry picking, because I don't want to see anything. So I'm very picky, but I don't regret it, but I do want to get back into it. Question number 5. Finally, y'all, we made question 5. That other one took up a lot of time. What hobbies do you wish you had? What hobbies do I wish I had? Oh, I'm sorry, but I totally forgot to mention one of my hobbies. I don't know if I count as a hobby because it's like, it's educational, but I suppose hobbies can be educational type of hobbies too. I like learning new languages. Like I said, my second language is Japanese. I'm currently learning Korean. I want to learn German and Latin, not Spanish. I want to learn Latin and German. I would like to learn French. Like, I could have learned that in school, but since I was like homeschooled and our school was very religious based. Our second language choice was like Hebrew or whatever, which I know a little bit of Hebrew because of that. When I was in my belly dance era, I learned some Arabic because Aramaic, because belly dance is, has stuff in that, like in Egyptian, you know, things like that. So I really like languages. So I'm going to learn Korean, for sure, because since knowing Japanese makes it a little bit easier. So I'm going to probably pick that up at some point when I have more free time. Probably next year. I'm looking at it to start and then really get into it. Get a teacher for that as well. I need to like sharpen up on my Japanese because I don't have someone I'm speaking it to on a regular to keep it fresh. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, so but Korean I'm picking up pretty good just from watching it, and Chinese too. I kind of want to learn Mandarin because I do watch a lot of stuff in Mandarin now. So I kind of want to pick up that too. So I'm kind of a hobbyist when it comes to languages. That's something that kind of ran in my family. One of my uncles that like knew like 6 languages fully. So I kind of want to learn that. French would be cool too. Like I said, to know that as well. But I really do like German the way it sounds. So anyway, I meant to mention that when I was talking about hobbies. I kind of have a language hobby. I'm really interested in that. So anyway, when I have time, it will be one of the hobbies I picked up. But so hobbies do I wish I had. Back to that. Maybe crocheting and scrapbooking. Because scrapbooking always looks really cool to do. And crocheting or embroidering I would love to do. It looks really cool. They make all these cool things with the needlework. I would need an embroidering machine, which I have a really expensive sewing machine, but I don't have a embroidering machine. But yeah, and those circuits. I want to get a circuit because circuit makes so many different things. You can make stickers. You can make all these things. Actually, it will help me in my author business. So I will have to do that too. So as you can see, I'm interested in a lot of things. So that was the last question for this hobby tag. I think it's such a cool tag. Mine was a little longer than it probably should be. But I have a lot of hobbies and I had a lot to go over. I could have went even more extensive, but I relaxed a little bit. Anyway, I'll tag anyone who's interested in doing this. I would like to tag Aphrodite Lee for sure. Because she may pick it up and do it. Dahlia Winters, I would like to tag her as well. Anyone else who wants to do it can totally do it. But yeah, maybe E.D. Lewis. That's my boy. I would like to tag E.D. Lewis as well. So I got 3 of you tagged. If you see this, then try to pick it up and do it some one time. We'd love to hear what your hobbies are if you have some. Or maybe to think of something to get into. But yeah, so please share away. Let me know your hobbies and stuff in the comments. I'd love to check out what you do too. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Stay scared.